Hello, hello, hello. It is stream time on a Monday evening. Tonight we are going to go deeper into the Take 5, I think. That's the plan anyway. I made some changes here in the studio, which have not all been as smooth as I would have hoped. But you know, sometimes that's the way that goes. One of the changes was that I acquired a Keylab, an Arturia Keylab MkII, which I like, but it is, as with many new things, there's a little bit of a challenge involved, and so it and I are a little bit at odds, but we'll be using it some tonight. And I generally like it. I think the issues that I'm having with it are not Arturia's fault. I'm not going to talk much about that tonight, though. That's not really what tonight's about. Well, I have another video in the works to talk about adding this to the rig. Excuse me one sec. I do not like to cough in your ears if I can. So, anyway, let's get into the Take 5. One of the changes that, or one of the things that I noticed, I was looking back at last week's, or 2 weeks ago, stream, and one of the things that is difficult here, even with the new overhead shot, the new overhead camera, it's not great. It gives an angle, but it's not super great at letting you see exactly what I'm doing on the Take 5 or the Polybrute for that matter. And right now the lighting is, I rearranged the studio some. I think I talked about that before. The lighting is out of whack still. I replaced the table over here that was not doing well with a stand. Right now I got a laptop kind of perched in there so I can keep track of stuff and see what's going on with the stream. And so the lights aren't back in over here yet. So it makes it even worse for showing what I'm doing on the Take 5. So what I thought I would do is there is editing software for the Take 5 from a company called SoundTower, and so I thought I might use that, and it's really nice because it gives a good view of what's going on the Take 5. It shows even some things that I can't show except for the menu on the instrument itself. So so we'll be using the software to show things. It does, as I said, does a very nice job. There's controls here that you can't get to without deep diving on menus on the Take 5. And by the way, this also applies for those who are interested in it. This also applies to the new TE-05, the new Oberheim TE-05. It's going to use a version of the same software, which is really nice. The company is called SoundTower. And before I start any further, before I go any further, I'm not sponsored in any way. Nobody sent me a Take 5. Nobody sent me the software that I'm using. It was all purchased with my own money. I was going to buy it anyway, so that's what it's all about. These are the tools that I use when I'm or usually use or sometimes use when I'm working with the gear. So that's that out of the way. I haven't used this software in a while, and this software comes as both a standalone and a plug-in. And one of the things that I discovered in setting up for tonight's program is that the last time I used this was with Ableton Live 11. I was able to use it as a plug-in. In Ableton Live 12, it will not communicate. It flat out refuses to communicate with the Take 5. So I'm not sure what's up there. Interestingly, though, I can run the standalone software in parallel with Ableton Live, and it works just fine. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're looking at the standalone version of the software, which is actually a little bit of an advantage because we can actually do a couple things in the standalone version that we cannot do in the plug-in version. So I'll give you a real quick tour of the software first. Right now you're looking at, we're basically looking at a representation of every control on the front panel of the Take 5 plus a little bit. So we're just going to work left to right across the panel of the instrument. You got the volume, the overdrive controls. There's extra glide control there, which is interesting. I'm not sure what that's all about. This is the first time I've noticed that. But there's glide, the vintage control, glide modes, which are kind of hidden in a switch there. Unison mode is there somewhere. And then a few things that are, again, you have to dig for, like the key mode, envelope triggers, retriggering, chord voices and detune are not there on the front panel for the unison mode, which is nice. That's in a menu. Up above that, you've got the LFOs, and they work pretty much exactly the same way as they do on the hardware. The nice thing, though, is you can actually see on the hardware, there's just a push button for destination, drops you into a menu as part of the mod matrix. Here, it's right here, and I can say, if we're looking at LFO 1 here, I can just drop this down, and those are all the places I can send it, which is a zillion. Same with LFO 2. Oscillator controls. All the oscillator controls are here, including one that I didn't even know was in the synth. Actually, two that I didn't even know was in the synth. You can turn key following off, which is kind of neat. It lets you basically set up an oscillator as a fixed pitch drone, which is fun for using when you're doing sync. You can set it to turnkey follow off, set a pitch, and then basically douse it so you don't hear it in the mixer, and it becomes a silent drone that then alters the other oscillator. And so that works with both sync and FM. The other thing that I didn't even know you could do with this synth is oscillator 2 can bypass the filter and go straight through, which is nice. And then up here in the center you've got what would be the main display, just as it is. We'll jump a little bit to the right, and that brings us to the mixer filter section. And those controls work just like they do on the synth. Arpeggiator and the step sequencer, and then you get into the envelope controls and the effects. One of the nice things here in the envelope section is we can actually shape the envelopes and see what the envelopes are going to look like, as opposed to just twisting the knobs. That doesn't excite me a whole lot, because I kind of know what I'm doing with envelopes, but it is nice, I guess, to be able to see at a glance what that's going to be. And one thing too that is, again, not on the front panel, it's buried in a menu, is both envelopes have a delay setting. Again, something I did not know about this until I was setting this up earlier in the week, or over the weekend. So basically you can hit a note and there'll be some amount of time before the envelope kicks in, which is kind of fun for filters and other kinds of things. And then you get into what is really hard to show on the machine itself, or on the synth itself, is the mod matrix. It's a 16 slot mod matrix, a myriad of sources, myriad of destinations, and this is nice because it's all just drop downs. And so we got a couple dozen, or 18 or so sources, and 8 menu loads of destination, or 7 menu loads of destinations. The other thing that you can do, which I haven't figured out yet, it's really weird the way it works, but you can also directly access the internal sequencer and the internal step sequencer. It's got 5 tracks. And I'm not sure, I have to dig into the manual on this. I have to read and figure out what the tracks actually are. I believe, though I wouldn't tie myself to this, but I think those are, it's a note track and modulation tracks, but I'm not entirely sure. So that's something I've got to look into, and that'll be something for a later video maybe. To talk about. So that's the quick tour of the software. Some other things that have been going on here in my musical life. Let me do this. Press the button. So I had been doing some stuff where I've been basically cranking out a tune a week, and that's been fun. But the other day, oh, hi Jeff, welcome. What I found with that, as I went to do a song for this past Sunday night, was that nothing that I was making, or nothing that I tried to make for Sunday night, appealed to me really in any way at all. And so I kind of am doing a reset here in my musical world, and getting myself recentered and trying to get back to where I believe, anyway, that I am supposed to be headed musically. And I mean, the songs were fun. Path of the Mystic is a good song. Nothing wrong with it, and the 2 previous new songs, I like the songs, but I wasn't jazzed making them. And what it is, Something's got its volume up. Excuse me. Hang tight here 1 sec. Excuse me. I don't have a quick button on the well, maybe I do. Huh. Okay. Anyway, if I have the track selected, I might actually be able to mute right from the keyboard. I know I can on the other controller, but I haven't gotten fully familiar with this yet. So anyway, I want to get myself more back to the ambient world that I like to live in musically. And so I took a week off. I went back and I've revisited some old stuff that I did a year and a half or so ago. And I'm going to release some of that stuff over the next few weeks. I'll polish that up and release it. That'll be out on Bandcamp in the next couple weeks, and or next 3 or 4 weeks or sometime. So anyway, so that's that, and that kind of sort of will dictate where we're going to go with sound design tonight. I'm going to be looking at stuff that's textural and that kind of thing. The Take 5 is pretty good at that. So that's kind of where we're going to be. We're going to be going. So if you're into drones and textures and that kind of thing, this is going to be that's kind of where I'm going tonight, and we'll see where that actually leads. And I think that's all of the introductory stuff. Oh, one other thing, we are celebrating today our 160th subscriber to the channel. So thank you all for coming and continuing to come and subscribing to the channel. And tell your friends, bring more. The more the merrier, as they say. If you're liking what you're doing, subscribe, click the thumbs up, ring the bell, all that kind of stuff. Visit my website at GerenM.net. Visit me on Bandcamp, which is GerenM.bandcamp.com. All those things that we're supposed to say in our videos. So, anyway, without much further hoo-ha, let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and stop this noise that we're hearing now. I'll just unceremoniously hit the stop button. It'll kind of tail out there. So, one of the things I was talking about is textures and stuff like that. And the Take 5, I think, is better at that than a lot of other. I'm going to get in trouble with some people for saying this. I think it is better at it than some of the other sequential synthesizers. I think it's better at it than a Vanilla Prophet, even like a Rev 2 or a Prophet 5 or even a Prophet 10 or a 12 or any of those things. I think it does. There's certain things that, by the nature of the oscillator and the way the oscillator works on these, or on the Take 5 versus the Prophets, which we talked about a couple weeks ago. I think that lends, in some ways, lends it to being a little better at certain textural things and things with motion in them. Nothing wrong with the Prophets. I think the Prophets are fantastic synthesizers. And my first analog synth a zillion years ago was a Prophet 600, and I loved that thing, and that's why I bought a Pro 800. So it's just a different way of making sound. The oscillators work differently. And that's, again, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time with that. But what I want to do before we start, building sounds is real quick. I want to show you some examples of some of the things that I have done with this so far since I've had it, and they're decidedly not Prophet-like. And so that's one of the things that I think is really unique about this synthesizer. So we'll take a quick listen. So we're along the line. I've broken something in this one, but that's okay. There it goes. So that was the first thing that I made with this when I got it home. When I brought it home from the store, set it up and turned all the knobs to see what I could get out of it. And I've been told by a couple of people that's decidedly not Prophet-like. And I agree. Part of that comes from being able to do things like sweep through the oscillator shapes, which you can't do on a Prophet. Let's see. So this one is a little different. That might be a little quiet. Yep. Let's see what channels that's on for. And this is one that I've played a bunch before. Used it around on a couple of jams and a couple of other videos. One of the things I like about this one is the way it overloads the filter. And it just gets nice and grindy. Oh, you know what? I've got effects on that I shouldn't have on. Let me douse the effects return here. There. And let's see, another different lead. Use the mod wheel to bring the FM in and out. This is another one that overloads the filter nicely. And of course there's aftertouch. Little organ-y thing. Transistor organ. This is the one we did last time. And if you were hanging around for our last live jam, Jamtaba 2, as I called it, or the Droning Hour 2, you'll remember this one. So those are some of the fun kinds of things that you can do with the Take 5 that I don't think all of them anyway, or a lot of them, I don't think you can really do with a Prophet. At least not without some contortions. Let's put it that way. So let's dig in. Let's make a sound. And I don't know what we want to make tonight, but we'll make something. We'll make some noise. So let's switch back over so we can see the computer. And again, everything that I'm going to be doing on the screen here, I could just as easily do with knobs. And I probably will actually reach over and turn, in many cases, turn the knobs, the physical knobs, and they will talk over to the software and set so you can see what I'm doing. And I will be playing. I'll play off the new Arturia keyboard tonight for control. So let's get the. So that's a basic patch. A couple of saw waves. Or somewhere between a saw and a square, in octave 0. Again, like I said, I'm into textures and whatnot at the moment. So I want to experiment because again, while I was setting up for this, I discovered some things about the synth that I didn't know. So I want to try right off the bat. Right now we're only listening to one oscillator. So I'm going to turn the key follow off on the second oscillator and turn it up. So that's what it's doing by itself. Great buzzy low thing, and I suppose I can set the pitch with the pitch knob and the octave. Okay. So that's where we can start messing around with the FM if we want. FM is nice and noisy and textural. So let's. I'm going to turn the volume. We'll do that. Oh, this could be fun. So what we can do. Ha ha ha. Oh, that could be fun. I like that noise. Sort of. So now we can do Wabbit. How you doing? Welcome back to this side of the world, my friend. It sounds like you've been having some grand adventures. Okay, I think I want more of oscillator 1 in the mix. Maybe. It is always good to come home. I will say that. I'm going to jump over to modulation here real quick. And I'm going to take an LFO that I haven't even. Now let's do we'll do an LFO for now. We'll take the per voice LFO. Missed your music toys. Yeah, I would too. I always have to have something I can take with me. So we're going to take LFO 2, the per voice LFO. We're going to take that, and I'm going to send that to oscillator 2 fine for the moment. And we'll set some amount of that. Then we can come back over here and play with the LFO rate and type. So let's slow it down. Oh, that is a truly annoying noise. Set it to sample and hold. It's not quite having the effect I thought it might. Maybe I need more of it. Oh, it's not going fast enough. That's what it is. So I kind of talk to myself when I make patches, just so you know. And don't worry, we'll get some filtering on this to make it not so absolutely nasty. So let me jump over to the filter screen. Luke is playing around on the NinJam server. Now you can hear that sample and hold kicking in. Oh, you bought Beam. Oh, Beam is cool. Definitely cool. I will say that it wants a lot of processor, but it's a cool plugin nonetheless. Got a good. This has got a good drone thing going on, I think. Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna send the global LFO to both the resonance and the cutoff a little bit. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll come here and I'll grab the primary destination for LFO1, and I'm going to send that to cutoff. And give it just a little bit. And slow it way the heck down. Nice. Nice. All right, then we'll jump over to the modulation section, and we'll take modulation 4. Source will be LFO1, and the destination is going to be filter resonance. What if we go the other way with that? Nah. And I think it's too fast. Okay, let's play with wave shape a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Does it sound up an octave? It's not quite as pretty up an octave. So this is definitely going to be a bass drone. And I think I'm going to put that per voice. Oh, we only have 2 LFOs. So I'm going to take that per voice LFO. And in this other slot for that, I'm going to send that to oscillator 1 shape. And we'll turn that up a little bit. That's going to be that sample and hold again. Filter up. Okay, you're not going to see this next move. I'm going to open the filter up a little bit. kind of breaks it for down an octave, though. All right, let's close that back down just to split the difference. So I want to be able to affect some things with the mod wheel. So that we will go back over to modulation. And in this slot, we'll take mod wheel. I'm going to send that to cutoff initially. And well, that's interesting. Where else is mod wheel going by default? It's controlling the amount of LFO1 into something from the sounds of it. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Wasn't what I intended, but I like it. Actually, it's controlling the rate of LFO1. Wonder if I can get, let's see, go to globals. Is that where that is? No. I gotta find out where that, oh, okay, fine, whatever. I gotta find where that mod wheel destination is set in the software. La 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 la. Let's see. Yes, happy accidents indeed. Shoot, excuse me one sec. See if this works. Okay. Let's see. That's got to be somewhere. It's not in envelopes. See the pitch bend range down here, right here at the bottom. But I don't see the mod wheel destination. Because I want to change the way that works. I don't mind it doing it, but I don't want it to do it so much. I may actually have to swing around and do that on the keyboard itself. And let me turn the volume on that off. That little bleep that shows up is something happening on Discord. It's interesting. It's making the bleep, but it's not putting up the notification. All right, Eagle Eyes. Does anybody see besides where I used mod wheel here? Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Modulation 2. Found it. So let's bring that way the heck down. Okay, let's flip back over here to the oscillators for a second. Let's see, what can I break? I want something to do with aftertouch. I guess I could modify, maybe see if I could use that to lower oscillator to pitch with aftertouch. Okay, so we find pressure, and we take that to breakdance. Let's see. My breakdancing would not be a good thing, Wabbit. I no longer this Weeble no longer gets back up after falling down. Let's put it that way. So oscillator 2. Oh, interesting. I don't have a regular pitch. Okay. Oscillator 2, fine. And let's drag it down. Breakdance take 5. If I got to take 5 in breakdancing, I'd be in the hospital, man. It doesn't have all that much effect. Oh well, that didn't do what I'd hoped. Let's zero this guy back out. What if I go up? Now, for performance sake, I'm also going to use. I'm going to put the foot pedal on that as well. Expression pedal, I'm sorry, on that as well, and do exactly the same thing. Because I've got an expression pedal hooked up to this. So that's going to oscillator 2. Fine. So I wonder if it has any more effect if I use the foot pedal. No, that's just really subtle. What if it does differently in a different octave? No. Nah, it really doesn't do anything. Oh well, that was worth a shot. I wish I had oscillator 2 pitch. Let's turn this off for the moment. And pressure. So find shape level, FM level, sub level. But I don't have the master pitch or tune. That's an interesting oversight. Oh, this could be interesting. Let's take pressure and modulate the amount of modulation 5. So we're going to increase the effect of the mod wheel with pressure. And I will take that. So if I push the mod wheel up, I get this. So if I push it up about halfway, say, versus there, now I can add pressure and open that filter up even more. Off to bed? Yeah, you got the jet lag thing going. Have a good night, Wabbit. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Discord. Actually, I'm going to be on customer site all day tomorrow, so probably catch up with people in the evening. Well, this is getting to be an interesting kind of noise. Change that so it's not pushing quite so hard against that mod wheel, though. That's better. Okay, let's change some, let's get into some envelopes and start changing some stuff over time. Okay, let's see. I'm going to slide. Can I slide that way a little bit? No, I can't. Come on. Work mouse. There we do it that way. There we go. Okay, so we get some different envelope routings with the with the Take 5. I can do it as a typical single envelope synth plus an extra envelope. So in that mode, which is the second mode here, envelope 2 controls both amplitude and filter, and then the envelope 1 can be used for whatever the heck else. Or we can do it so it's a separate envelope for filter and for amplitude. Let's do it that way. Let's see if I can get this kind of thing going where we ramp into our sound. So I'm going to go. This is where this gets fun. I think I can drag this out so it's nice and long, and drag this release out, bring the sustain up, and then on the amp, we're going to go right into it, stay into it, and let it close over a long time. So you heard that ramp up, and then it dropped back down. Now the LFO's got a hold of it, and if I let go, this should all just kind of fade out. That is a long release time. And basically, I'm going to let the filter be what shuts us down, and I'm going to scooch right just a little bit more because I'm going to delay the start of this. See what that does. I don't really notice a lot there. Let's do that. So Jeff, you can bet we're going to hear this the next time we do a jam. And I'll probably hook it up to play it off the, right now I'm playing off the Keylab. I'll probably play this one off the Control S so I get the poly aftertouch going. In fact, let's switch over to that now. One sec while I do that. I have to swivel around on my chair to do things, but that's okay. Switch over there, back. Let's see what this does. That's some interesting noises. And actually, I'm going to jump back over here real quick, just because it's easier to work. I'll know that works, and I'll switch back to the Keylab. It's too much on the too much on that aftertouch. So back to modulation. Pressure to mod 5. We'll bring that back down even more. Okay, split the difference. I have to change the aftertouch curve on this keyboard too. There we go. I'm liking this. Okay, what other weird stuff can we do? Let's go over here, and we're going to add some. We'll add some delay and reverb, of course. Or do we want to do? What do we want to do for the modulation effect? Well, what will a rotary speaker do to this? This could be interesting. Turn it on. Oh, there we get some motion. Too much distortion, though. I forgot to turn the speakers in the room off. Oh well, it's all right. I'm going to shorten up this decay too. It's like that is or this release. Sorry, that is obnoxious. Still obnoxious. I wonder if I should be... Let's see. One thing I haven't found in this anywhere is key tracking for the filter. Here it is. That's an interesting place for that. It's not a switch, it's a knob. Kind of want it to go the other way, though. Oh well. It's entirely possible this has gotten pushed too far. And it may just be there's too much drive in that rotary effect no matter what we do. So what else we got here? Got a flanger. Flanger, as some say. FM amount. That may be playing into this as well. Let's see. La 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 la. Modulation going to Oh. Okay, no, nothing's doing that. I don't have... All right, I don't have anything pushing FM amount. I'm guessing I'm going to do that just by changing the level of oscillator 2. That's sounding too pretty. Uh-huh. Okay, cool. I can play the filter for the mod. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. So let's, because we can be obnoxious about it, let's give it some sub-level too. Alright, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's move over to the effects. And let's see if something else sounds better than that flanger, though. Maybe the chorus. Oh, yeah. I'll take that. I'll bury this puppy in reverb. It's not the best reverb on the planet, but it's not bad. Make it big. Make it really big. Not a huge amount of it. Brighten it up. And if I add a little of those outboard effects back in. Too much sub. Take that out altogether. In fact, I might even go back and revisit the oscillator octaves now and see if they do better elsewhere. Let's bring oscillator up an octave. can do the split. That's what I can do. Let's do this. So one thing I can do with the Take 5 that's kind of cool is I can take like the last, I don't know, octave of the keyboard, for instance, and split that so that below that I can then change that, make that either down 1 octave or 2 octaves from the rest of the keyboard. So if I turn that on, for instance, I think the split point right now is about here. Let's set it. Let's do this. Hold the split point. Oh, let's see. We'll set it. We'll just set it here. Where do I want it to be, though? Unlike a lot of keyboards, this doesn't have just a push the button where you want it to be mode that I've found. Let's try it at G2. It does say G2, right? Because it's splitting at C2. Okay. Well, let's tell it C1, see what that buys me. Okay. So I'm going to tell it now E1. I think that's what will translate to where I'm supposed to be. Oh, you know what's got me thrown off? I'm completely out of tune because of the FM amount. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to remember where I'm supposed to be on this to make it play right. That's all right. It'll be a thing. Okay, now to bring both of these down an octave. Well, just one. And I actually want this down a step. Where I want it to be. So now if I hold, which you can't see, but if I hit the, if I hit a D down here or a note down here, I can then drone down there while I play up here. That's a fun droning sound. That's good. I think we've got something here. Just have to remember to add outboard effects to it, because it doesn't sound wonderful without the outboard effects. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, I think that is a sound. Nice. All right, we're going to save this before we lose it. So I'm going to save this. I'm actually going to do this on the synth itself because it's a little easier. I'm already set for the slot that I want it to be in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the right button. And we're going to give this puppy a name. Let's give it, we're going to call this Fixed Mod Drone. Which you probably can't see yet on the screen, but that's what I'm naming it. Fixed LMN. Actually, I'm going to call this Fixed F Mod. So that I get a clue that it's FM. A fixed F frequency FM. Maybe Fixed F Mod. Either that or I'll say, what the heck does that name mean? Garen, you're a crazy man. Fixed Mod. Oops, wrong way. And I think I'm going to run out of characters too, but that's all right. D-R-O. And, whoop, got one more. Yay. Okay, it's named. We hit right again. There we go. So it's now called Fixed Mod Drone. It's stored in the synthesizer. It doesn't show up yet on the display here. I have to suck it over to the library and in the computer. But wow, that was interesting and fun. So let's see. Oh, I got to push this button, make that do its thing, and come back to the full screen. So that was a fun evening playing with the Take 5 and getting some texture and a nice drone going. I like this. This is good. It's just annoying enough to be fun. Now it feels like something changed. Oh well, it's fine. Works good. Next trick will be to get it in tune. So when we do a jam or something and someone says we're in D, I'm actually playing in D. But that'll come. I'll get that squared away in time for our next drone session, which we do, for folks listening who aren't aware, we do a drone session on the 4th Sunday of the month, typically at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's a group of, any number of people who are part of the Synth Seeker Patreon and Discord group. And so we get on and we do a live jam for an hour, which is a lot of fun because we can't see each other. We don't know what the other person's doing necessarily. All we know is that we're going to be in a particular key, playing a particular scale roughly, with a particular tempo. And so we're linked up thanks to our NinJam wizard, Mr. Jeff Hopkins, who put the whole thing together for us. Did a wonderful job making all this work. And what we do is we all stream it live, or most of us stream it live while it's happening. And one of the interesting things about the NinJam server, or NinJam NinJam servers is that there's a time offset. So when I play something, for instance, the rest of the group hears it later. So that makes some interesting things happen. Apparently there's some folks who are really good at being able to do timed stuff. For us when we do something timed, for us when we do something timed and it works out, it's a happy accident. But I know some of the other servers, if you go out and look on NinJam, you can find servers that you can listen into if you have an app called Jamtaba, and you can listen in and join these various servers that are public, and hear what people are doing. Some of them are very impressive. These guys are seriously jamming, and but it's a lot of fun. Even in our little, we've done a couple of them so far, which are a lot more ad hoc, and even in those, we're having a blast doing it. So check that out again. That'll be should be the fourth Sunday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, adjusted for whatever time. And if you come to my website, there will be an announcement at GerenM.net. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you'll get an announcement when I set up the event for the live event for my channel. I love to have people join and take a listen and chime in on the chat while we're doing it. It's a lot of fun, and something I look forward to a lot every month. So anyway, that's going to about do it for me for tonight. I'm going to try and come back in a week. I know that the schedule is typically or supposed to be every other week for me, but I'm going to try and come back in a week and see if I can start moving to once a week, or for a live stream, or at least a video posted on the off weeks. We'll see how that goes. I've got the next thing I want to talk about, and as I teased in the beginning of at the top of the show, it's going to be some of the frustrations that I'm having with the new Keylab. Well, I'm going to grouse about that for a while because I can. But it's I'm coming off like I'm being negative about this new controller. It's a wonderful controller, and in most cases, or many cases, it works perfectly. It does exactly what I hoped it would do. But there are some things that don't work as expected and don't work as I've seen other people have it work. And so I'm going to try and get to the bottom of that, and we will talk about that the next time we're together. So thanks for coming, thanks for joining, and sitting and hanging out with us, or hanging out with me this evening. I do appreciate it, and we will see you again very soon.